A review of the all-new Buick Regal GS. Some highlights from the world's biggest and best custom car show in Las Vegas. And we get to sit in the world's very first 3D printed car. All that and more coming up right here on the SST Car Show. SST is brought to you by Stark Auto Sales, home of the ultimate worldwide scratch and dent car sale. Hey everybody, I'm Rick Walker. Welcome to another edition of the SST Car Show. We have a great program lined up for you today. We are going to take you to the SEMA Auto Show in Las Vegas, Nevada, the biggest custom car show in the world. We're also going to review the all-new Buick Regal GS, a car that is designed to compete with the world's best. But first, let's head off to Las Vegas to the SEMA show for a look at the world's very first 3D printed car. This thing is a game changer. It is going to revolutionize the way automobiles are manufactured. We were able to connect with the owner of the company that is building and is going to sell these cars to the public. These things are real. They are here today. Check this out. What is Local Motors?
Local Motors is a technology company that designs, builds, and sells vehicles.
Okay, and this has got to be your most unique and technologically advanced vehicle.
It is, and in fact, it represents a whole process. So for us, this is a direct digital manufactured car, or in short, a 3D printed car. First one of its kind.
In the world?
In the world. First ever in the world. And what that means is we've heard about MakerBot, we've heard about 3D printers for the last 5 years or so. This is taking it to a structural level, which means that we're printing the structure that makes the car.
So let's be clear about this. Are you just making the body and the frame?
There is no frame, there is no chassis, there is no body anymore. This is all one unit called the car.
What about the engine?
The motor is not printed right now, so this is an electric vehicle powertrain, and we don't print the battery and we don't print the motor. In the future, you could imagine using metal 3D printing in order to be able to keep the rare earth metals utilized as efficiently as possible. But in this car, we're using components where we will plug in a motor and plug in a battery in order to be able to drive it.
This is a game changer, right?
This is a fundamental game changer on so many levels. Maybe the first one is safety. So this vehicle is printable in a way where if you don't like the structure, the next vehicle you print, change the structure and tune the crash certification. The next one is beyond safety is the design you want. How many seats, what you want it to look like, change it on the fly. And probably the last one is the buying experience. To be able to learn about it online and follow a designer and choose their design, select it for ownership, come in and say, I want it, and the same day leave with your vehicle from a small facility that has enough room for a machine like this in your hometown. It's no longer a dealer, it's a manufacturer.
So when we're talking about custom cars, this takes custom to a whole new level.
It does. We like to talk about it as low volume cars because you still have to do a certain amount of crash certification and other things on each car. And so we'd like to say that instead of making 1 million of each unit, of each model, that you'd like to do 1,000 of each model.
So what is this material? Is this plastic, fiberglass? What is it?
It is in fact a plastic. It's a carbon fiber reinforced thermoplastic. It's effectively Lego with carbon fiber infused in it.
So the carbon fiber makes it lightweight and extremely strong.
That's correct. Carbon fiber's best properties are along its longitudinal axis is a very high degree of compression and tensile strength and a good amount of shear strength. Those are the scientific terms for lightweight and strong.
Now, are all the cars always going to have this sort of extruded look, or can that be sanded down or smoothed out?
So if you look on the side, we've got the smooth section and the rough section. We did that to show that it starts out rough, and everything you want cosmetically to be milled down, you could mill down. It's just more machine time.
Wow. So you could end up painting these things, making them as glossy as a new car?
I'm really glad you brought that up because painting is lovely in the way we think about cars and it's very personalized. The painting will make this material not recyclable. And so the question is, do you want a car that you can't recycle? If you do, and you pay for it, then that's fine. Yes, you can paint them.
But this is all recyclable.
Right now, without paint on it, it's all recyclable.
Wow, so you could grind this up and make a new car.
That's right. In fact, we call it upgradable hardware. So imagine you bought a car, and next year we figure out a design that makes it safer. We just take your components off in 30 minutes, and you turn in your material for an $800 charge, and you get a new car printed with better safety certification.
So now the way you're talking to me, it sounds like these things are going to be marketable. It's really here. You're going to sell these things.
It's really here. In 12 months, you're going to be able to buy this vehicle.
How much?
$18,000 at the low end, $30,000 at the high end.
So that really is a game changer because that is entirely affordable.
That's right. The goal here is going to be simple cars, so you're going to lose some creature comforts that you otherwise would have had in your Corolla or other things like that. But we think that when you're buying a Corolla versus a Chevy Cruze, you're looking at every single feature. When you're looking at being an early adopter in the first direct digital manufactured car, you care less about the features and more about being recyclable, fashion forward, new tech, that kind of thing. And we're betting that the soul of innovation is alive and well.
Time for a quick break, but when we come back, our look at the world's very first 3D printed car continues.
Go away! That's right, because we got more street sport television coming your way.
Hi, Crazy Dan from Crazy Dan's Auto World. As you can see, my competitor's trying to stop me, but not even this is going to slow me down. Just get in here and I'll sell you a car. You can trust me.
Don't take chances on crazy car salesmen. See Dia and the team at That Car Place.
Don't risk going anywhere else.
Financing below bank rates.
I'm Dia, that car guy. If I can't get you financing, nobody can.
443 Exeter Road, London. Visit thatcarplace.ca.
Fusion Auto Sales, you're gonna like the way we deal.
Fusion Auto Sales is dedicated to giving you the best sales and service experience possible. You'll love our great selection of over 60 pre-owned vehicles, and we know that you'll appreciate our low service rates and highly trained technicians. Stop by and check out our newly renovated facilities just east of the Tilbury Auto Mall.
Fusion Auto Sales, you're gonna like the way we deal. 37 Mill Street West, Tilbury.
Hey friends, welcome back to the SST Car Show. Off we go to Las Vegas, Nevada again, where our interview with the owner of the company, the creator of the company, that is producing the world's first 3D printed cars continues. I just can't imagine what this is going to do to the car companies because this is a whole new direction.
It fundamentally changes the game of technology adoption. I'll give you an example. Google's been making this autonomous car out of a Prius, and they have things like LiDAR detectors on them, big pucks that are like this big. And these pucks, they change fast. And it turns out that one month they're this big, the next month they're solid state, they're really small. For a Prius, they got to bend metal, they got to put this whole thing and screw it in. And then when it changes to be this small, they got to come back and make a whole new bracket and a whole new assembly. For us, we change it in the software, next print, it's perfect fit for the new one. That's technology adoption, rapid technology adoption. No tool change, no bracket change, all in the software, upgradable hardware.
What about, you mentioned safety before, how does this thing do in like crash tests?
So we'll announce our first crash test data at the Detroit International Auto Show, where we'll show the initial data on how we're crashing these. A lot of work to be done, and we're super excited about the fact that because you can print material and put it wherever you want, today when you make a car, you do a lot of modeling in the computer, and you hope to God when you get to the crash chamber that it performs the way that the computer said it was going to perform. But if it doesn't, you got to go back, and the die's already been cast, so you got to go back and pay for all the new tooling changes. With this, change the model, reprint it, try it again.
So you're making another one over to my left.
Right now we're printing a car, and that car is going to be taken off tonight and assembled, and we'll drive it out on Friday.
That blows my mind too. I mean, how long does it take then to actually produce one of these vehicles?
Well, right now we're printing at 40 pounds an hour. And so 40 pounds an hour for us is roughly a 40-hour print. At the end of the year, we'll be above 80 pounds an hour. That means we'll be at a 20-hour print. Think about what that means in the industry. Today's automotive lines for like a Ford F-150, 17 hours from the time you start to the time it rolls off the end of the line. If we're down at 20 hours, we're basically at parity with Detroit for making a car.
Talk about disruptive technology. I mean, holy smokes. Stamping plants, CNC machines, all that stuff.
All those things.
Gone.
All gone.
History.
All gone. I mean, great technology and wonderful that we got that far, but this is a disruptive entrant to doing things. Now, if you want my prediction, probably famously wrong, I think that for rental car fleets and for large homogeneous fleets, making cars the way we make them out of stamped steel and doing them that way, we'll still do it. Because you can make them really efficiently, but you need a huge machine and you need to keep them all the same. But for rapid technology adoption, I think you're going to see this method used to bring new technology to market as fast as possible.
Should people be worried about their jobs?
Actually, I think that would be like asking, let's not have an internet because librarians would lose their jobs. I mean, yes, librarians have lost jobs as a result of the internet, but think of all the jobs that have been created by having an internet. That's the way we have to look at this. And at the pace of retraining and in an open source car company like Local Motors, where nothing is held back, you can learn how to use all this stuff and make it. Every one of our microfactories has an open lab where you don't have to pay to come in and use the equipment. What we want is your idea so that when we make it, we can give you attribution and you get paid a royalty on the product. So it's changing the way you don't need a job to get paid a royalty on something you design.
But soon people could be printing these things at home.
That's the idea. You get kids now that take a look at these things and they say, I can print that on my MakerBot. I could redesign it. I could print it on my Ultimaker. I could redesign it. They'll never know a day without a vehicle that was makeable at a command, at a whim.
Wow. This just is the tip of the iceberg. It's so exciting. Talking about jobs, I mean, this could stimulate the economy in ways people haven't even thought of.
When we think about bringing manufacturing back to the United States, or even better, bringing it back locally, I really bemoan the idea that people say made in the USA, because with technology like this, why not made in Vegas? Why not made in Phoenix? Why not made in Calgary? Why not made in Fort Mac? You know, the idea of being able to say, I can make something locally, it gives pride to a town, it gives pride to a region, not just to a whole country. And that invigorates jobs, it invigorates the economy, it invigorates local materials. It's an incredible change in the way we think about industry.
Well, listen, thank you so much for taking the time to share this with us today. It's the future now. I'm just so excited to be able to share it with our viewers.
Well, come check it out at localmotors.com. You can follow the whole progress of the direct digital manufacturing car.
We will absolutely do that. We'll put a link on our website at streetsporttv.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a review of the all-new Buick Regal GS, a car that has been built to really compete with the world's very best. At first glance, the new Buick Regal GS looks conservative, but underneath it's actually a pretty hot car, thanks to an all-new 2-liter turbocharged engine that pumps out 259 horsepower. The power plant produces a lot of low-end torque with almost no turbo lag. The result is impressive performance when pulling away from stoplights and when passing slower-moving traffic. From its flowing front end to the flared rear exhaust ports, the Buick Regal GS is an attractive car. Its styling cues pay tribute to Buick heritage, but the sharp lines that flow from the fenders through the doors and into the rear quarter panels give the car a very modern look. The GS offers all-wheel drive, and make no mistake, the system enhances handling and acceleration in all weather conditions, not just snow. The interior is what we have come to expect from General Motors in its upscale vehicles. The seats are comfortable and supportive. The car is also incredibly quiet. In fact, this is probably one of the quietest Buicks ever produced, thanks to the ample use of laminated glass and sound-absorbing materials. Buick has really stepped up its game here with the GS. Unfortunately, all the performance equipment and options have also elevated the price tag close to BMW and Mercedes-Benz level. You could argue this car is comparable in quality, but the Regal GS might be a tough sell to those who are also looking for the kind of prestige that comes with an import badge. The Buick Regal GS is a solid performer. It surprised us, as many of the cars in the General Motors lineup have this year. GM quality has really improved. Don't take our word for it, though. If you're in the market for a mid-size touring sedan, take a look at the Buick GS. Take one for a test drive. we're pretty sure it will surprise you too. And now check out this very cool Rat Rod tea bucket that we found in Las Vegas. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll have highlights from this year's SEMA show in Las Vegas. Don't go away.
I'm Maggie Yule. Don't go away. We've got more street sport television racing your way.
Looking for a better way to buy a car? Stark Auto Sales holds insurance recovery auctions every Monday. SUVs, minivans, cars, trucks, motorcycles, even exotic sports cars. Thousands of vehicles in stock. Some are rebuildable wrecks, some just parts cars. Others are damage-free theft recoveries. You can save a lot of money bidding in person or online. Stark ships worldwide. If you're looking for a better way to buy a car, stop by the next Monday auction at 119 Union Street, Toronto, or visit starkautosales.com.
Turn back the hands of time with Antique Chevrolet Parts. Since 1971, we've been sourcing parts from around the world to help you restore and maintain antique Chevs. Nose to tail fins, we have your parts. Call us toll free at 1-866-767-2787. Get help from a real person or go to antiquechev.com. Download a catalog, order online, delivered to your front door. Antique Chev, helping you turn back the hands of time.
Thousands of... Hey friends, welcome back to the SST Car Show. Off we go to Las Vegas, Nevada now for some highlights from this year's SEMA Auto Show, the best custom car show in the world. Here's our own Maggie Yule.
Welcome to the biggest, the coolest custom car show in the world. SEMA stands for Specialty Equipment Manufacturers Association. Any kind of company in the auto industry comes here. You'll find the newest auto parts and the coolest custom cars. You'll see old school customs and new school tuner cars. This is not open to the public, only car companies involved in the automotive aftermarket industry. And it also attracts media from around the world. You'll see all kinds of new design trends here and new technology. The show is growing. They've added 2 new sections. There are exhibitors here from Canada, the United States, and Mexico. And this is just a taste of the show. If you want to see more, you'll find more at streetsporttv.com.
And now some highlights from this year's Chatham-Kent Day at the St. Thomas Raceway Park.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out here today. We're coming out strong. Little, we're trying to burn out the rock. That usually smokes out the crowd.
Well, friends, that's all we have time for today. So until next time, I'm Rick Walker reminding you, when you can't get to the car show, we'll bring the car show to you at StreetSportTV.com.
Maverick Multimedia production.